I thought it would be interesting to start summarizing things I've learned over the past week or a few weeks, because I'm always learning so much because I love it, and it doesn't make sense to keep that all for myself. Also, the best way to learn is to teach, so I'm here with you, for you. Let's do this. One of the things I've been really thinking about a lot is this idea of a niche of one. I'm trying to build this audience here. You're watching it, maybe you're part of my audience, which is nice. But I'm really thinking about, what do I talk about? Do I go very broad, or do I go very niche into one specific topic? And this idea of the niche of one means like, combine your unique perspective with the unique combination of things that you're interested in and good at. And that is kind of your niche. That is the part of the world where you excel in, and that is the part of the world that you should build an audience around, build products around, and try and build a business around, because honestly, that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, for me right now, this is still very, very much a process of figuring this out. What is my niche? What am I interested in to talk about, to learn about? What are you interested in? And also, who are you? Because I'm trying to find the people, because I don't have any audience right now. So, are the people who are interested in the same things, are there any? Where are they? How do I find them? And so this is this thing of just me experimenting with different topics and trying and seeing what comes up. Eventually, I guess, we'll get somewhere. But there's one idea that really stuck with me, and that is, have yourself a year earlier as the ideal customer, which I thought was very, very interesting. It's kind of, there's a customer, yourself, a year ago, so talk about the things that your old self would be interested in. That sounds really cool to me, so I think I'm going to try and continue in that direction. I've been learning a lot about micromobility because I'm in the process of making a video about it. So the LEVA, L-E-V-A EU, is the Light Electric Vehicle Association. They make a bunch of interesting things. They're a collection of people from the industry, so they really know what they're talking about. There was a discussion in the European Union that I kind of tried to follow because it was during the workday, so it's just kind of on the background, but I got some ideas from it. One of the interesting things that I've learned about micromobility is that speed pedelecs, like the electric bicycles that can go 45 kilometers an hour, they actually have to go through emissions and fuel consumption tests, because there is this European norm of all the things where the vehicle needs to be certified on, and that is one of those things, and they kind of don't want to change it because of technology neutrality, but in fact this is kind of hindering electric vehicles because they need to wade through these hundreds of pages to figure out what is applicable to them and what is not applicable to them. So that's kind of a crazy ruling that we have, that I hope that doesn't stay there for a long time. In a lot of places, there are power requirements on micromobility devices, which is okay, interesting. It's kind of an idea from really 20 years ago, so before any of this started. And when you think about self-balancing vehicles like a monowheel or a Segway, it's so incredibly dangerous because the motor is literally what's keeping you from falling. And so leaning a little bit too much or braking a little bit too hard would just drop you on the floor if your motor is not strong enough. So motor power limits do not make sense at all for anything that's self-balancing. What makes more sense is saying this is the speed you're allowed to ride, this is the mass you're allowed to have, because together they make up kinetic energy, and that is really what hits something or someone when there's an impact. And another thing that I found pretty interesting was when looking up the energy usage of different transport methods, you see that of course cars are the most energy inefficient. Then you have public transports like trains and trams, and metro is kind of half of a tram in terms of energy usage per person per meter. But then bicycles actually use more energy than an e-scooter, which I found pretty crazy and interesting, especially if you start to consider that there's an incredible energy inefficiency in turning energy into foods, because the energy that you need for riding a bicycle is energy of you. I'm not saying that you should not ride a bicycle, because there is the incredible benefits of movement and of the free workouts you're getting. But in terms of energy usage, it would ideally be better to live in a Wall-E kind of world where you're kind of sitting in your chair and letting yourself transported around by an electric vehicle. that would use less energy, that would be better for the world in a weird kind of way. One idea that really stuck with me in terms of productivity was this idea of living in the incomplete. And the idea is kind of, well, if you are doing a lot of things, then a lot of things are actually incomplete all of the time. And you kind of need to be okay with that, because if you're not okay with it, you're probably gonna waste time trying to power through things or trying to get one thing finished at the cost of other important things. So this idea of living in the incomplete, it also kind of gave me some calm, right? When I look around and I see this mess in this apartment, it's kind of like, okay, it's okay to have a little bit of a mess because I'm just doing other things, and it's okay to just leave that for a while. Then I've been learning more about positioning myself as a interesting person, as a speaker, and I've been reading Russell Brunson's Expert Secret book, which includes a chapter on creating a mass movement. So what way do you communicate, and what do you talk about, and how do you present the information in order to make a movement, in order to rally people around your cause. And I'm trying to use those things in the videos I'm producing, especially now in the one for micromobility, where I really want to make the case for moving towards micromobility, and I want to try to convince more people to do it and to be an advocate for it. But I kind of want to use this in all of my videos because I think it's just engaging, it's nice to see, and kind of in all my videos I'm trying to teach you something that I think would be better for you and ultimately better for the world, because if every person is better, then the world is better. Then with a group of friends we opened a discussion in relationships about this balance between mystery and openness, because mystery is so exciting, it pulls you into it, it makes you look forward to things, it gives you the jitters, it makes you horny, but then also when you grow together, when you're in a long-term relationship, you kind of need to open up, you kind of do it automatically as well. So how do you balance that? Do you not talk and block off certain things? Are you an open book? Is that maybe too fast of showing who you are? Should you show who you are or not? It's something that I struggle with a lot myself.
Hey, editor Marcel here. Now I'm rewatching this, I realized that I didn't give any advantage of opening up to people. I think that is very clear in showing where my bias is and what direction I need to grow into, and yeah, open up and realize that there are so many great things in opening up to other people and getting in to know them more deeply and understanding the people you love. And there's not necessarily a bad thing connected to it. You might be losing some of this mystery, but there's also other new things that come up, and probably you can open up without losing all the mystery. So yeah, that was interesting to see myself.
Thinking about, should I say this, should I talk about this insecurity with my partner or not? I'm kind of not completely out it yet. I know at least that I love mystery, I love playing around with people's minds, I love giving incomplete information, I love just saying specific things that I know will release a specific part of a fantasy, because fantasies are so nice to have and I want to give them to people. I don't just mean sexual fantasies, right? Not just sexual. And then to wrap up, let's go a bit deeper into sexuality. A video that I saw by Captain Sinbad, and he was talking about how he returned to nofap, so no masturbation. And there's still debate over whether it's good or whether it's bad, but his point was the number one benefit is desire, because you want to ejaculate, and it doesn't show only in sexual desire, but also in desire for getting anything in life. Just this hunger and this drive and this go-get-itness. So I thought that was a very interesting and very straightforward way of explaining the benefit. So I'm trying it. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching this. If you want to really become this ultimate human being in the modern world, subscribe, because I will continue posting content like this, and give me a thumbs up so that way I know that this was interesting to you. Thank you for watching. There's probably a next video around here somewhere if you want to continue, and I'll see you in the next one.